as long. The sun shall blow as long. The wind shall blow as the wind shall blow as long.
Okay, so the next one, the guy who's been filming us, and he has a show all over the world. And John Andy has been, he's a very well-known musician who has worked with Pete also, and throughout the years in New York City, he's been hooked up with all the folk musicians there, and it's extremely important to bring him here because he's been through the whole movement with us for, I don't know, 40, 50 years. And I thank him so much, and you know, let's give him a big applause.
Thank you, Roland. I am so glad that he asked me to be part of this. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here. Thank you. I host a show called Songs of Freedom Television. We've been doing this work since 1996. There are some flyers here. Celebrating the dignity of human struggle with its many faces and its many voices. And so many of those faces and voices are in the room today. Yeah, and it's here. It's on the bar, which is a good place for this kind of thing, and it's also outside. Let me just finish this. So, do you know who Matt Jones was? It's time to sing a Matt Jones. Who was Matt Jones? He was a member of the Student Nonviolent Action Committee. He was a freedom rider in the South, and he was a contemporary of Leonard Peltier. That sound? He said, when I was young, I fought for freedom. When I was young, I fought the Klan. Who would have thought I'd still be fighting 30 or 40 years down the line? When I was young, I felt for justice. When I was young, I fought for peace. Who would have thought I'd still be fighting 30 or 40 years down the line? Fighting for freedom 30 or 40 years down the line. When I was young, I fought for unions. When I was young, I fought the vote. Who would have thought I would still be fighting 30 or 40 years down the line? When I was young, I fought for housing. When I was young, I fought for jobs. Who would have thought I would still be fighting 30 or 40 years down the line? Freedom, still fighting for freedom 30 or 40 years down the line. When I was young, I fought segregation. When I was young, I fought Jim Crow. Who would have thought I'd still be fighting 30 or 40 years down the line? When I was young, I fought for children. When I was young, I fought for love. Who would have thought I would still be fighting 30 or 40 years down the line? Freedom, still fighting for freedom. 30 or 40 years down the line. Freedom. Oh, freedom. 30 or 40 years down the line. 40 or 50 years down the line. 60 or 70 years down the line. So we have a lot of questions in front of us. I have more questions than answers. But I do know, as Spook pointed out, it starts with us. Here's one question. Are you brave? Are you brave enough? Are you brave enough for love? Do you feel when you feel your feelings? You're putting on a show. Eyes are staring, people laugh at what you think you know. You know if you were human, well, you may have human needs. A ghost that haunts, that's what a want is. We've been to where that leads. But are you brave? Are you brave enough? Are you brave enough for love? Hurting causes hurting, and hurting is a sin. Would be a fool born of that school to not know where he's been. Yes, but if I'm ever happy, I'm bound to let you in. Oh, I've got to find the courage to lose before I win. But am I brave? Am I brave enough? Am I brave enough for love? Healing, fighting, feeling. People and people do. What can I feel or think or say in order to break through? And am I brave? Am I brave enough? Am I brave enough for love? Country fighting country. No one seems to win. In their heads, out of their minds, that's how it's always been. But all of the king's horses, all of the king's men had never asked a question that I think of now and then. Were they brave? Were they brave enough? Were they brave enough perception. Hey, now there's a weapon. We've trained on me and you. And are we brave? Are we brave enough? Are we brave enough for love? Are we brave? Are we brave enough? Brave enough for love? Have you seen the merch? Check it out, and it's all about supporting the cause. Thank you, Roland. I'm so happy to be here for you. Well, I went to see the wise man to be what I can be. I told him I want happiness, and this is what he said to me. Give up the I, give up the want, ego gets in your way. If what you want is happiness, happiness is all you say. Then you don't have to do a thing or wish upon a star. The only word is happiness. You gotta be the change you are. Be the change you are. The change you are. I went to see the shaman. You see, I was looking for some peace, and she said, I am so glad you came in. You can have it when you please. Give up the eye and looking. What you see gets in your way. What you want is peace, my friend, and peace is all you say. And you don't have to do a thing or look upon a star. No, the only word is peace, and you can be the change you are. Be the change you are. Yes, the change you are. About all those things on which their love depends. And I thought about that shaman and about that wise man too. And I had a revelation and I got a point of view. If I gave up the thinking, if I gave up the I, if what I want is love, I don't even have to try, no. This is my favorite part of the song, because you're singing, and hear the words. Happiness and peace and love. Happiness and peace and love. Happiness and peace and love. I can be the change I am. Try with me. Happiness and peace and love. Happiness and peace and love. Happiness and peace and love. I can be the change I am. One more time now. Happiness and peace and love. Happiness and peace and love. Happiness and peace and love. I can be the change I have for harmony. Happiness and peace and love. Happiness and peace and love. Happiness and peace and love. I can be the change I am. That's right. Be the change I am. That's right. The change I am.
many, many years, born with him. He's been a gigantic help to us in the music world, and so many, many people know him. Let's welcome Spokane.
Thank you, Roland. Roland has always been kind to me. It's a real honor to be here today. Now, I'm a white boy, and I grew up being taught what white boys were taught. But I was at a very interesting time I was at an interesting time. It was an interesting time in American history because we used to go out and play cowboys and Indians, but we always used to fight because everybody wanted to be the Indians. And so we stuck to cops and robbers. We did that. And, you know, and there's this naive kind of thing that goes on in the white communities, at least in my generation, was this romanticizing of Native Americans. Not really knowing what we were romanticizing, you know, thinking it was an idyllic lifestyle and not really understanding the suffering that they were put through and the indignity that they've been forced to experience. And I accidentally wrote a song many, many years ago, and I was invited to play at the Two-Row Wampum in Beacon, New York, with David Amram and Pete Seeger. And I was asked to sing this song, and I didn't, because I didn't feel comfortable. So I'm going to try to sing it today. And the thing is, I wrote it when my voice was higher, and I can't get any lower than this on the guitar. So I'm going to try to do this. It's called 7 Handshakes Away. Or it's called Shakes Away. And it's on the idea of the 7 generations and the 7 handshakes it would take to be everybody in the whole wide world. There's only 6, you know, nowadays they call it 6 degrees of separation, but it's also 7 handshakes away. So I'll see if I can sing this. Let's see how it comes out. We've got to water our plants in order for them to grow. We've got to love the ones we're thinking of, you know. One way or another, our sisters and brothers are only 7 handshakes away. Shakes away. Sometimes we need to plant the seeds of love ourselves. It's worth the labor to love our neighbor as ourselves. One way or another, our sisters and brothers are only 7 handshakes away. Shakes away. Like a flower just beside the road, sing our power. People, don't you know our finest hour is beginning to unfold. We're the sand grain in eternity. We are the current of the galaxy. Hear its sweet song and you'll see. about your brothers and your sisters are only 7 handshakes away. Shakes away. Whoa, shakes away. Whoa, shakes away. Shakes away. So I got into a conversation with Pete, and I said, Pete, you know, I've heard 2 stories, one about you and one from you. One was that people call you the seed planter, you know, or a seed planter. In fact, my backup band is called the Seed Planters for that reason. But he also tells the story of scattering seeds. And I don't, you know, I actually looked it up. There's something about you scattering the seeds, or you broadcast them, cast them broadly. And some of them will land on fertile soil and grow. Some will land on the rocks and not grow. Some will get eaten by birds. Some will get into the cracks and start growing, but then wither in the sun. But some will grow. And I was thinking about this idea that when we're in our own world, whatever that is, I mean, this is all part of our world, we do have a right and maybe even a responsibility to plant seeds. But when we're in the public square, maybe it's better to scatter seeds. I don't know that there's a fixed boundary between those two, but it's something to think about. You know, when we plant our own seeds, we take responsibility for them and nurture them. But sometimes when we just do an act of kindness, we don't know what the results are going to be, but we're making a better world by doing it, just putting out in the world. Scatter seeds, one kind deed. Will they grow? You may never know. It's not for you to say, so just keep on your way. Tomorrow is another day to scatter seeds. Turn the earth, one love's new birth comes and goes unless it finds a place to grow. We'll change, come and stay. Who among us is to say? We prep the soil anyway and scatter seeds. We each have our own little gardens to plant and nurture as we please. But better both for you and me. The more of us who will agree to sit together, sorting seeds of harmony. drop we drink, and every crumb we eat, every thought we think, every feeling, every deed builds us up or breaks us down. The waves we make go round and round and round and round and round and round into eternity. Scatter seeds, one kind of deed. Will they grow? We may never know. It's not for us to say. So let's keep on our way. Tomorrow is another day to scatter seed. Always, always, always have a song to sing. Can you folks sing that? Always, always, always have a song to sing. The bell of freedom in my heart will always have a place to ring. The bell of freedom in my heart will always have a place to ring. It will always, always, always have a song to sing. Now, some may fight among us, ask who here is to blame. Some will cry and wonder why, but let's not play that game. There's a voice inside of each of us, can you hear it? Call our names, it's saying we'll always, always, always have a song to sing. Always, always, always have a song to sing.